Megabucks here. So, Campus Heroes. We tried them all behind me. The Campus Heroes theme team, you'll see I still have them all. I got gameplay on my second channel. I'll link it in the description if you want to see them in action. But today I'm going to rank them. As you'll notice, there's only one card I literally had to take out of my lineup. I could not play with it. If you don't, you're going to find out here shortly because he's rated last. But there it is. There's a lineup, all the Campus Heroes. We're in peak MUT season, boys, right? This is crazy, the amount that I dropped. I apologize for not putting out a video this morning. I was live on Twitch. I should have recorded and uploaded it. Hopefully you saw my Twitter, my invisible Matt Leinart. That was a big glitch there. And put it up on the Twitter. It's also on my second channel. So that was kind of fun. But they ended up patching that and fixing it and made them uninvisible. Which, hilarious. But I don't know how they patched it so quick. Weird. So anyways, let's go through and rank them. Which ones to get in order. Ooh, that's kind of zoomed in. Let's see if we can't go more Boomer vibes instead of Zoomer vibes. Oop. Actually, I guess Zoomer vibes would be zoomed out too, because they have eyesights. All right. So here we go. 25-1. Let's get it going. Actually, let's take a word from our sponsor before anything else. Rock Bottom Coins is the #1 place to get your Madden 21 coins. If you make coins for my videos, sell them to Rock Bottom. If you're buying, use my code GUTBOX for 15% off. Alright, the one that I literally couldn't play with. The one that I had to remove from my lineup after a couple games. Carlos Rogers. This guy is a liability out there. I hated having this guy at corner. I couldn't put him on the outside. I tried to hide him at the nickel package, and he just got burned. Whether the tight end, let me show you his stats. Whether it was a tight end, whether it was a wide receiver, they just ran past them. Couldn't do it. Sure, you can add some theme team chemistries on him to get him up to 93 speed if you go like Niners. There are some nice materials here I'll show that you can kind of see which theme teams they're all on. Mudhead's front page has got a good one, so Carlos Rogers. I'm not going to go through each one. Washington, Niners, Raiders. But yeah, this guy, it was brutal, dudes. I couldn't play with him out there. He was just no man coverage, nothing at all. So, he was the worst one. Literally avoid him at all costs. Number 24, you're going to have a kind of a consistent theme down here. Ken Norton, I took at number 24. Why Ken? Because, well, unlike Ken Dolls, he's not fun to play with, okay? 86 speed as an outside linebacker and only a coverage guy. He's not a pass rusher. We have many more outside line or just linebackers that are faster if you have to play in a 3-4. But it sucks that linebackers are just so much worse than safeties this year, right? 72 zone coverage as a coverage linebacker, and he's not overly fast, right? You can just throw like, somebody worse zone. They're like LT out there or like Derek Thomas, who can also pass rush, but also has bad zone and can just do it better. So I thought this Ken Norton card, it sucks they did him like this. It really does blow. He's a run-stopping outside linebacker, but we've got a lot of guys with high block shed in this game that, will just flat out play better than him. So it's a little disappointing that he got kind of disrespected like that. Number 23, the reason Matt Leinart is this low, he does get set feet lead, but he doesn't get hot route master. And quarterback play in this game is almost all upon the abilities you can get, because there are some that are very powerful and then a lot of other abilities. Number 20, you don't even need to see his stats, okay? You don't even need to see his stats because, Tony Romo is really nice statted, but without the abilities that really make this game tick, it's tough to use. So, Jonathan Vilma is 22. Another coverage linebacker. This one at middle linebacker. A little bit faster, which is why, well, actually same speed as Ken Norton, 86. But higher zone coverage on him. Hit power, block shed. So, pretty solid over there for coverage. But sadly, if you're going to use a guy in coverage for the middle linebacker spot, you're going to want to use somebody either with lurker, and I think you can use your middle linebacker, Sam Mills, your MUT master there instead, because he doesn't even get, Vilma doesn't get lurker. And otherwise, he just won't jump, and it's kind of liability that they can just throw at you, and you won't be able to go up and grab it. It's basically got to hit you in the chest, or you can't get it. Okay? Number 21 is more slowness at the DB position. I'm going to go 21 and 20 back-to-back. Now, I didn't have as much problems with these guys as I had with the corner, but I will say, with the world that we live in, Reggie Nelson, Leroy Butler, on theme teams, they're different, right? They can catch up. Your Green Bay theme team, he's much better on it. But at 91 speed on just regular team, where I kind of rate all these things against, it's just a little bit lower than I want to see there at my secondary, at my DB spot. So ideally, we'd be hitting mid-90s now with our new safety. So it's sad, but I just can't use... Oh, you guys can't see that, can you? Reggie Nelson. Let me see if I can... Yeah, there it is. Reggie Nelson. 89 speed on him, too. So even though they got decent hit power, Leroy doesn't have great hit power either. I got a nice lurk with Leroy Butler too when I was using him. I don't know if it's in the gameplay or not, but it was on stream today. So even though they play okay, I just, I saw Reggie Nelson get beat over the top once that I feel like somebody faster would have played. So it's tough, man. I don't know. Speed is so important, and there are guys with basically, like Taylor Mays is better than this, smart-wise too. So here's a pass. Both of them are passes, except for theme teams, of course, which is why I love theme teams, because they make a lot of bad cards good and usable. Otherwise, they would be unusable without those boosts. Cornelius Bennett is right here at 19. You're like, huh, Cornelius, eh? All right, interesting, because there's a lot of other positions I traditionally am down on, but I went with a pass rushing outside linebacker this low. That means I kind of like some of the other cards, and I kind of do, right? 90 power move, 89 block shed, 78 finesse with 84 speed. Nothing really stands out there versus all the other pass rushers we've gotten. We got the Vons, the Max, the Derek Thomases. We just got Mo Lewis too. And he doesn't really offer anything that they don't. So Cornelius Bennett kind of goes lower on my list. He's not overly fast, so he doesn't overly impress me because his stats outside of speed aren't that impressive either. It's not all about speed at pass rusher, but when you got low other stats or like minimum stats for what a top end pass rusher would have, you really need to be fast then to make up for it, and he's not. David Pollock, another one. I don't even know, can I even say that name? I feel like that's like a bad word nowadays, but I'm not sure. 84 speed, 91 power move, 89 block shed on David here. So 87 finesse too. He's pretty well balanced, which is why he's the top one that I have. But like I said, I mean, matching him up to other pass rushers, what does his speed give us? What does his stats give us that they already don't? Because we already got guys that are faster than him, right? If you want somebody fast, I got Sweat upwards of 90. 92, I think he's on the team with Sprinter. Derek Thomas faster. LT faster. So Pollock's here, but he's not something we haven't seen. And a lot of these cards aren't something we haven't seen, but that's why I kind of rank him lower. Not as exciting as maybe some of the other ones that we have. They can maybe do some interesting different things. Like this one. This one is not thick enough. I have to say this. We're going to do back-to-back. I think both defensive tackles are fine. We're going to go back-to-back with them. I would argue Vince Wilfork, I should probably put him below those last two guys. I could move Wilfork down a few spots, but he's only 325. There's no way you put a Vince Wilfork in this game and you put him at 325. This guy's easily 360, 370. There's no way this body's 325. I can't believe they made him so skinny. I'm very disappointed. Hainsworth is a better card than this. He's got a really good block shed, though, so that you can't really look away from. But sadly, even with, I ran against a guy on the goal line, and I had 3 defensive linemen matching against this 3 offensive linemen on the goal line, right? I ran commit middle. And guess what happened? His center pushed back Vince Wilfork, and the fullback dive was just easily gotten and converted for a score. So even with a run commit, they still don't push. And that's the biggest frustration I have with defensive linemen this year. Even though they're thick, even though they should push, even though they should get a boost, because it's a video game, you should get a boost from run committing, they don't still do that. So I was very frustrated with his inability. I even had inside stuff on him on that, and it still didn't see anything. I even committed AP to stop inside runs, and I still didn't get it. So Vince Wilfork, I would argue, I maybe even rated him too high, and we could throw him down here maybe at 19 and then move these guys up a spot. But I might even put him below the safeties. Nick Fairley himself, a little bit better statted. 92 block shed, 90 power move. Like Vince Wilfork doesn't have power move. He's also 8 speed faster for Fairley, and he's not that much lighter. He's still over 300 pounds, so he's got block shed, power move, and finesse move with a little bit more speed. So that's why I like Fairley a little bit better, a fair bit better. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Keyshawn Johnson. Now, this card is rated pretty accurate to him IRL. With 88 speed, he was never a burner, but he's tall, physical. But sadly, height means not a whole lot in this game like it really would IRL when he matches up against other players. Because you can just match him up against a 6'3" DRC and then the height advantage is gone. And then DRC is also going to have him by quite a few speed points too. So There are, sadly, a lot of good receivers in this game. So because there's so many great receivers, like Keyshawn Johnson's just not coming out in a good game cycle for him, right? He's coming out a little later after we just got Tyreek, who's significantly better, significantly faster. So Keyshawn, sadly, is a little bit lower than maybe he would be IRL for his value to his squad. Next up, you guys are going to think I'm crazy. Not quite yet, but in a little bit. I like Trace Armstrong because 84 speed. He can also move down to defensive tackle, move out to outside linebacker. Very flexible. You probably would never move out to outside linebacker. 84 speed, though, with 93 finesse. So the best of the finesse movers. But like I said, it's not going to be that much of a difference. So there's not going to be a really huge difference. I just like his flexibility. I like the ability to go everywhere with him. And the fact that he does have pretty solid stats for that left end spot, which is why he is the highest rated of the rushers, of the defensive linemen, etc. Edge players, too. Peter Warrick at 13, a little bit faster than Keyshawn, but still, if you're going to be the speed guy, I need you faster than 91 speed. I need you upwards to like 93 speed right now. So 91, he does have deep route running stock, no power up, so medium route running won't get there without the play fake, which does, I think, hamstring him a little because you basically got to change your, at least a couple, right? He gets 3, and then you're going to need one more player on your squad to get that medium route running up, which isn't the worst, right? I mean, I've had a harder times getting guys chemmed up to meet thresholds, but it is something to look out for. Overall, Warrick, pretty nice, right? Pretty nice, but there are definitely better cards to get. Number 12 comes in with our savior, Tim Tebow. With sadly, I wasn't able to get any Tebowing action in. I didn't score a rushing touchdown with him, so I couldn't go to the head. But I like him, okay? Not a great passer. He gets his escape artist like all other improvisers. Throw power, I think I had him up to, 95, which is fine-ish. Because of the lack of gunslinger, you can't really fit the tight throws that you can in a lot of other offenses. Throw on the run, 92. Throw under pressure, 90. Overall, just a fun card, right? He's right here because he's fun, right? Liner's near the bottom of the list because he doesn't have the abilities. And sure, Tebow doesn't have the abilities either. But you know what? He gets Tebow points because all he does is win games. All it is win. I think I won every game with him today. The only game I lost, I think, was Liner. It was back there. And that was one of those games, huh? All right, next up. Number 11, MJD gets there. Why did MJD get here? Not a little higher on the list. 90 speed, only 87 break tackle, which I thought was kind of unusual. I thought he'd be a little bit higher. I wanted his agility. You know, the speed didn't bother me as much as the agility not being like 95 plus. Because Maurice Jones-Drew was kind of like a bowling ball back there. I really liked the way he played. 5'7", moved really well like on a dime. So not having to change direction or agility up at like mid-90s instead of 92. Felt a little bit worse, but 210, not overly heavy, but I wanted MJG to be my MJ. And I would give him the... Okay, I'm not going to do a Spider-Man day. I finished that Spider-Man game. On the new Spider-Man game on PS5. It was okay. A little short. It wasn't a full experience, and the story wasn't as good as the original. Like, if you never played the original, I would get... Oh, if you never played the original, you got to really learn how to catch up. But the first... The last Spider-Man game was better than this one. But it was still a good experience. I'd still play it. It crashed me 5 times, right? It's like a 6-hour game. It crashed me 5 times those 6 hours. Very annoying. Anyways, Cadillac Williams. It crashed as much as Mutt does, if that gives you any indication how well it's coded. On brand new PS5 hardware, which was super sweet. Cadillac Williams, 91 speed with 86 break tackle. There's a reason he's barely above MJG's because he's barely better, right? A +1 to speed, acceleration, agility are the same. I mean, pretty darn similar. Elusive back versus elusive back. 76 catching. There really isn't a whole lot changed. 93 juke move, so he hits the tier A there. He doesn't hit tier A on spin, but he's solid. Solid, I think. Not the best one, but he's solid. Number 9. You guys might roast me for this one, but guess what's gonna happen? I think you know. Offensive linemen. I'm putting the O linemen high on my list. They don't matter. But I think everybody below the O linemen have already been kind of surpassed by a lot of other cards in this game. Right? A lot of these cards are kind of just like, yeah, they're nice to have on the theme team and everything, which is really cool, but like, most of these things are replacement level players. and like guys that have already been beat out pretty solidly by cards already in the game. Now they're all only going for 100K, which is really nice for training. I know some people are making some coins, or there's like re-rolling it by buying cheap training. You gotta get kind of lucky, which kind of sucks, right? It depends on what the odds are. If the odds are 3% and you pull one out of every like 30 packs, then you're making coins. But I pulled 1 out of 70, so I got maybe unlucky with that. Which is kind of, small sample size or whatever. So like you can make coins off like selling the expensive ones, but like I don't know. At least they're cheapish. So that's why I put the linemen there, because they're actually pretty decent linemen, and actually top of their class linemen. And Bruce Matthews is flexible; he can play every single position on the O-line, which is why he's so great. Why he's number 6 on my list. But everything else below is just like for your theme team only. The ones above, it can go on basically any team. Number 5, Ozzie Newsome. Okay, Ozzie Newsome. I like him. 86 speed, 74 run block. Medium route running does hit the threshold. We got to go into him full. Deep route running, he has that also. I love it. Right? Very cool card. Only 6'2". I thought his run block should be higher, but, I don't really run the ball anyways. Why do I care? Not like a monster after the catch with that break tackle. Nothing crazy here. Stiff arm's only 81. But there you go. Newsome, not bad at all. Nice that he's in the game, but nothing insane, I would guess. Still pretty cool. The one that I think slightly better, although he played like crap for me. This guy dropped 2 balls in 3 games, where I'm like, I've caught those balls literally 100 times before this without a drop. It's Jeremy Shockey dropped 2 of them. So I don't know what's going on. What happened with Jeremy Shockey? Let me take a look. What's his traits looking like? Drops open passes? No. What is going on? What is going on? Why'd you drop my open passes then? But anyways, 1 speed faster than Newsome, which is why he's here. The run block is a little bit better than Newsome. Catching traffic, short route running. You will need to go deep to get his deep route running, but I don't really use a lot of deep routes out of my tight end. I'm not sure what your scheme does, but mine doesn't. Really nice that he has 90 medium route running with good speed and 6'5", so he's tall, which is just gorgeous. All right. Next on the list, we got a few left. The leftovers, as we call them. Number 3. Herschel ran well. He really ran well. Now, his stats don't really pop off the page, right? 92 speed, 88 break tackle, 90 truck. But he sits here at a solid 225. Just awesome. He has high strength. I don't know if strength, matters for... How does strength matter for? A little bit on the getting gauge, but it doesn't really mean a whole lot because your guy will still get pushed back anyway. 87 strength. Sorry, I said 88. I don't know if that helps him fall forward or not, but this guy ran well. Powerful. I like this. I like the way he played. He's also heavier. He's got that like Saquon-esque, like 225, 230-ish area. I do like the heavier backs because I do feel like weight matters there, especially against hit sticks and stuff. The heavier guys, I feel like, take a little bit harder. It's harder to hit stick heavier dudes than it is smaller dudes in this game, which is, physics. Makes sense to me. But yeah, overall, I think it's a pretty nice, well-rounded back. Juke move, spin move, neither of them at the tier 8 threshold, but he's more of a downhill, trucking, break tackle, run fast, Bo Jackson type of power back. So really cool Herschel Walker. What team does he get on again? Herschel Walker, Cowboys, Vikings, Eagles, Giants theme team. So Giants now have like 2 of the top running backs in the game. All right, next up, number 2. Who is it going to be? Is number 2 going to be Taiwan? No, number 1 is Taiwan always. So who does that leave for number 2? Number 2 is going to be Pat Watkins, okay? Pat Watkins, number 2 in the game. Why is he so good? Because he's tall. We basically got, you guys know how much we like Craigasm for free safety Megatron? We basically got free safety Megatron with a different name. 6'5", 91 speed, 92 acceleration. I mean, this isn't insane, but it's good enough at 6'5", right? Lurk God. He has Lurker built into him because he's a DB. Decent zone. Man, if you go lockdown on him, gets that too. Obviously, you don't run him at corner. You won't need to press at all. Hit power 86. I will say, one-on-one in the hole, it was CPU Watkins versus a running back. I forgot who it was. Literally, 4th in game, midfield. He had to run the clock down today. This is that game that Liner played, if you remember how that one ended up. He hit him a yard behind the line of scrimmage, CPU, I ran him on a user, took on the lead blocker. He ran in, lost the engagement. The guy slipped off, gained the extra 2 yards with the reach forward animation against him. So he's not a big hitter. Says no. He couldn't do it for me. He gets inside stuff, though, which I would never put on this card, but not clutch. Did not clutch it up for us. No, so not great traits. We will say not great traits at all. Actually, a trait, like, horribleness, but 6'5" at that position is very rare. And in these cards, we always look for rare things. So Pat Watkins is my number 2 behind Taiwan. So basically number 1 on the list, because nobody will ever reach number 1 Taiwan, because Taiwan is number 1. You can Google it if you don't believe me. Just Google Taiwan number 1. And there it is. That's who I think the campus heroes ranked in order. Now, obviously, they're up for debate, and your theme team will 100% change the list. But let me know what you guys think. Did I mess up? Shout me out. Let me know in the comments. Who would you have ranked higher? Who would you have ranked lower? Now, this is my personal experience and my personal schemes and how they played for me on the field. But until we meet again, thanks for watching Call to Action. See you tomorrow.